Yeah, I was listening to this shit, dude. They're fucking talking about DMT. Have you ever heard of that? The spirit molecule or some shit like that? I don't know what the fuck they were talking about.
I gotta be honest, bro. The only time I fucking ever heard of DMT is from Joe Rogan. When he's talking on his podcast, talking about going to alternate dimensions and talk about
that's what I was talking about, dude.
All I know is this dimension's fucked up. I would love to go to any other dimension they have available because, I mean, if you can go, like, look at an entity or some kind of alternate smart fucking intelligent being from another universe that gives me tips and advice, fuck it, I'm going for it, man. Fuck this shit over here, man.
Yeah, trip out on this though. Dementia, fucking, you know, when you get older, there's possibility that you're gonna have dementia or fucking Alzheimer's.
I see that shit firsthand. Shit's fucked up, man.
Fucking, you know that there's a study or a theory, I don't know what the fuck, but anyway, science has seen these people when they pass away, they release this chemical, dude, that DMT chemical.
Oh, on your third eye.
Release it in their fucking brain. And
your third eye, right?
Yeah,
like the fucking cerebral cortex right here in your fucking dome, straight.
Yeah, so I guess they're saying that they're probably remembering. They're still conscious after death, of course. That's a theory that's been proven for like past studies they've done. But I guess people with dementia or people with Alzheimer's after they pass away, they release this chemical to an extraordinary amount, dude. It's like fucking crazy.
Like a mind orgasm, and it's like.
Yeah, and then they're trying to figure out what is that, and if people are reminded of everything that's happening in their life at that point in place.
You know what's fucked up?
Creepy, huh?
You know what's fucking crazy? I think that shit happens, and fucking when that shit happens, I think time is fucking different at that point. So I think maybe they do relive their whole fucking life as it happened. Like I don't know, because time is all, like Einstein says, it's all fucking relative, you know?
Yeah, well, we'll let the scientists fucking agree to a theory or something. Take it away, Stodiac.
You motherfucker. Alright, guys. Fucking what's up, man? Welcome to another episode of Same in the End motherfucking podcast. My name is Joe. I'm joined by my Pabst Blue Ribbon sipping motherfucking homeboy. What's up, Gabriel? What's going on, man?
What it do, G?
Yeah, man. So, dude,
nah.
What the fuck? Hey,
what's
man.
up, fool?
Hey, dude. I know we were talking about this shit before you fucking turn fucking. I don't know what you're doing over here, but fucking the cerebral cortex, that whole shit that happens right before you die, man. That shit is fucking deep, man. Because think about that, man.
Yeah, dude.
Because like what Einstein said is time is relative. I mean, whatever you're experiencing now, the time that you're experiencing is based on your reality. If you're dead, you're dying, you're at the last possible gaps of fucking life, the time could be different then, man. Like, time could be slowed down where it seems like a synapse fires for a second as you're dying. That could be a fucking 10, 20, 30 year thing in your mind. You could be reliving that shit because it's all relative to where you're at and your whole plane of existence.
It happens. I guess people have gone through those near-death experiences.
Where they died. They died in an operating table. They came back and they said they had some crazy fucked up dreams. They saw God. They see Jesus. They see fucking heaven. Right?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to trip out on is, what the fuck is that, dude? What is that chemical?
Well, how about this?
Call it the spirit chemical. The spirit fucking molecule or whatever. But what is that?
Let me ask you a question here. Like, roll with me here, man. Okay, I don't know about you, but like when it comes to the morning, I'm a lazy motherfucker, man. When it comes to time to go to work, my alarm clock goes off at 5:30, snooze, 5:40, snooze, 5:45, snooze, 5:50, snooze, right? Every fucking time I hit that snooze button, I swear, I know it's gonna go off in 5 minutes, but somehow I have this dream. Like, say if I hit my snooze at 5:45, boom, snooze, I fall back to sleep. I feel like I have a dream for a fucking 2 hours, 3 hours. I have this crazy, wild, vivid, fucking crazy dream. And then the alarm clock goes off. I was like, shit, only 5 minutes have gone by?
Yeah.
I swear I was on a fucking dream, traveling the seven seas like fucking Captain Jack Sparrow, fighting all this shit, like doing this wild, crazy adventure. All this fucking... I felt like years happened, but it was 5 minutes in my dream. I think that happens when you die. That fucking... all that shit firing, this cerebral cortex, this fucking mind ooze and out of your brain, this fucking crazy third eye blind bullshit, whatever. I think that fucking happens in your mind for an eternity, but on the outside, it's just like that, man. It's fucking just like a dream, man.
Yeah, and supposedly it fades after a while, but I don't know. We can't go that far into our existence or whatever. You know?
Why not, man? We're not smoking weed. We're drinking beer instead of weed. So we gotta be fucking more. Hey man, what's up, man? So this would be like the fucking same idiot weed cast in the future. Where we start talking philosophical and shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
So what's on your fucking mind for tonight besides these fucking crazy ass brain orgasms you're talking about when you're fucking dying, dude? What the fuck's going on with your mind?
The only
man?
reason I mentioned it, dude, is because I was thinking about that deja vu shit you were fucking saying last episode.
Shit fucked me up. That's the one thing that fucks me up in life is deja vu.
I was tripping out on phenomenons that happen in fucking life experience that you can't explain it. You can't fucking explain it. Reality is fucking tripping. You start thinking about these fucking spirit molecules or whatever. Like all I'm tripping out is, where does that come from? And it points me somewhere else. I kind of know where it points me, and I'm not trying to share my beliefs, but yeah, I just have my beliefs. Anyways, you had a story to tell us, right? Take it away, no?
Well, I had a story, but the story that I'm fucking telling you about is about way fucking in the dawn of time. Not actually the dawn of time, but based on where we live now.
Yeah, early stages of
early
America.
motherfucking stage, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to be releasing this shit on April 3rd, 2017, fucking Monday.
Take it away, Stoniak.
Okay, so what I like to do, I like to fucking... Okay, for everyone listening to this podcast, I like to throw Gabriel with these random ass fucking facts, right, in this dirty ass sock podcast we talk about. So I'm like, hey Gabriel, man, did you know on this day, blah blah blah. I'm doing this for years. He's like, what the fuck do I care about that shit for? But now I have a reason to explain these dates and time because we need to look back on these crazy motherfucking events in history so they don't repeat our past failures. So this shit happened on April 3rd in 1856 in the Isle of Rhodes in Greece. Okay. Now this is a fucked up, true motherfucking story. What happens to be the greatest explosion disaster in the history of the world. So what happened was, in 1856, the Isle of Greece was actually in charge by the Turks, the Ottoman Turks. So what happened was, this was a very pivotal place for like an army barracks, right? Like army invasions. They always have these pivotal points where they like to store stuff. So they had this massive ammunition storage dump, and the most famous, or not most famous, most popular church in the Isle of Rhodes.
Yeah, you get reminded of that from the American Revolution, how they used to have storages like that, storage units.
Yeah, so this was a massive complex where they stored all their fucking ammunition, gunpowder, all this shit. This crazy motherfucking place that was big enough to store almost all of their ammunition, their weaponry for this island, plus also utilize a place for multiple thousands of people to come and worship because it was at a church. So what happened was, there was this April 3rd, 1856. It was a fucked up night where it was a big storm came to this island. There was lightning, there was thunder, there was fucking crazy ass windstorm. So everyone came inside to worship. And at this time, which was fucked up, man. This is the most fucked up thing here. The science obviously wasn't as good as it is today with all the shit we know about. They were under the impression at the time that the church bells, the big bell, the sound of a bell, that big iron bell above the church, was enough to ward off lightning. They believed as long as they rang the bell, no lightning would ever strike the building. Boy, were they fucking wrong. Because what happened was, that fucking night, one single rogue lightning strike hit the building, ignited the ammunition, 4,000 people died in that one instant. Think about that in your mind right now. Think about where you work, or what building, or a movie theater, or everyone listening right now. 4,000 people died that night because of one lightning strike struck this building full of ammunition. It decimated the island so bad that current day population on this island is only around 6,000 people because fucking most of the males died during that fucking explosion. Think about that, man. 4,000. You go to a grocery store, it shit's packed as fuck. Maybe there's 100 people there.
100,
times that by 40.
No, maybe Disneyland or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe like a theme park.
Yeah. Massive amount. 4,000 people died.
Fuck.
And this is the biggest, I guess, explosion, natural disaster in the history of the world. And I never knew about it before I looked it up because fucking April 3rd is coming up. So that's what's up.
I second that. Everything you say, you have to learn history in order to fucking, so you're not doomed by repeating it.
Yeah, don't go to a church full of gunpowder, man, on a fucking on a thunderstorm, right?
I second that. And since we're on the topic, there's a lot of shit that we'll learn in school. You know what I mean? That sometimes I even fucking question myself. I ask myself, do we really need to learn that shit? When I was fucking going to school back when I was a fucking teenager and fucking a kid, most of the shit that I learned, I think, and I still think to this day, that those useless facts don't play a fucking role in my everyday life. What do you think about that? What do you think about the fucking education system we're in right now, where you're not even, like, as soon as you're fucking learning how to fucking walk and learning how to fucking shit and get off the diaper and shit, you're like already thrown into preschool and you're in school for fucking 14 years plus in case you want to get another education to do something in life.
Well, see, my complaint with the current school system, especially here in America, especially actually here in California, they don't teach you how to effectively problem solve. Like, they don't teach you, okay, when you grow up...
How to think outside the box, right?
Yes, because what school is these days is just memorization of these facts that they want you to know, right? Like, when...
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, they want you to know. There's a lot of shit that trips me out because they teach you, and later in life, they're like fucking going back on what they said. I don't know if you remember this, but I'm sorry for cutting you off, but
that's really
fucking Pluto, when I was growing up, Pluto was considered a planet. Now it's considered a quote-unquote dwarf planet. Like, where's that knowledge? I mean, why were they teaching us that Pluto was a planet when it's in reality it isn't?
Fuck Pluto. I don't give a shit about Pluto. What I want to talk about is what they fucked us over, and they told us the lies about Christopher Columbus. In 1492, motherfucking Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Motherfucker didn't discover America. There was fucking people here, living here, before this motherfucker got here, and this whole shit about Christopher Columbus discovered America. Right, Gabriel, this was taught us every fucking Columbus Day, every Thanksgiving was Columbus discovered America. Without Columbus, no one would be here. Like that, when I was growing up, I literally thought this place was fucking
empty,
a vast empty wasteland. But Columbus came over and like, fuck yeah. Motherfucker found it by accident. Yeah. He was trying to find a new way to fucking South America, right? Like from like the Caribbeans for some spices or some bullshit like that. Motherfucker found us by accident, and there's already Native Americans here to begin with, plus a bunch of Mexicans in California, right? Who think they still own it, but that's another story for another time. But fucking Columbus didn't fucking discover America, and they still teaching fucking kids that.
Yeah, that's the trip, man. No, but what I was
fuck
trying
Pluto.
to say. Fuck Pluto, guy. No, what I was trying to get at is that most of the shit they teach, that alone, you know what I mean? Historians romanticize a lot of shit. Even the first president of the United States, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shit that he did, you know what I mean? But they romanticize the fuck out of it. But what I'm trying to say is that we spent our fucking childhood years in these fucking classrooms, fucking, like, I feel like their goal was to fucking set us up to be the fucking perfect employee. Because they were just making us wake up at an early fucking time, spending time in school for so many hours and getting out, and you come home and
regimented, right?
Yeah, not only do you come home and just you think that the job's over, you still have homework. They pile on this fucking so many amounts of homework that you spend hours doing. It's just like, it felt authoritarian. I don't know if that's authoritarian. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but dude, you couldn't do shit without the teacher's permission. Fucking, you had to raise your hand and ask for permission to go use the restroom, and I always tripped out on that shit. I used to just walk out of the rest of the room, dude. I didn't give a fuck because I didn't care about education when I was growing up. But I would just walked out of the room, and they used to get fucking crazy with me. They used to send me to the detention's office or whatever. But I felt like they were just teaching us how to be proactive fucking employees and don't ask questions, don't think outside the box, and basically do as you're told. And that's what I took off from my everyday life in school.
So do you think? So if I'm hearing you correctly, maybe I'm not. Do you think So you're saying you think school is a big conspiracy to keep you down, regimented, to just learn and think what they want you to learn and think, and be on this crazy regimented schedule with free of expression, free of the creativity, like this whole like you need to do A, B, C, and D and D, and you need to do at this time, this way, this how, or you will not pass.
As far as the education system I passed, yeah, because I felt like I was being trapped. I felt like everything that was being taught was useless facts that I didn't even fucking need. There's shit that names, fucking birthdays that I was remembering that I don't even know why the fuck I was learning them, and it seemed like we were just regurgitating most of the useless facts that we just needed just to pass a test. You know what I mean? Just to pass a fucking test. Like there's so many fucking birthdays that I don't remember that I was learning useless facts, fucking using the protractor fucking to fucking angles and shit. Like I know that you might need that once in a great while to fucking cut wood or something, but I'm like, most of that shit you didn't even fucking use. And what I'm trying to say is the world is filled with fucking stupid people. The other day I was reading comments on fucking YouTube. They don't know how to fucking spell. The other day I was in a fucking in a gas station. I calculated shit in my head, and the fucking cashier had to use the fucking calculator to make sure that I wasn't fucking them. Off of fucking 12 cents.
Let me ask you a question. Okay,
what I'm trying to say is education. I value education. I value the fact that you could have education more than other people. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of stupid people with today's education system. And I don't know what to get out of you from that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think the education system that you grew up in, and let's just say, the more rough area of Los Angeles County, do you think that's different than, say, the rich suburb of New York? Do you think that there's a difference in, based on where you live, where you come from, the type of education experience that you get out of school? Do you think that plays a factor in it?
Depending on what kind of school it was.
No, but do you think a South Central school is going to be the same as a school in a multi-million-dollar neighborhood?
If it's a public school, yeah. Yes. If it's a public school, yeah. But if it's private, maybe not.
No, let me ask you. No, what I think, there's a serious disconnect because, look, if I'm a teacher, say I graduated from a good school, I graduated from, say, UCLA, I graduated from NYU, fucking Penn State, right? So I'm a teacher. I have a choice. Okay, I'm a good-ass teacher. I'm the fucking best of the best. Where am I going to go? Am I going to go to South Central LA? Or am I going to go to fucking Laguna Niguel? Or am I going to go to Beverly Hills? Well, they'll pay me more based on the district because of the property taxes. Am I going to earn twice as much doing the same job? So you're going to have all the good teachers go to the best possible, highest paying areas, and what you're left with in the areas with the lower property taxes, lower amount of resources, you're going to have the leftover teachers who maybe aren't the highest caliber. So it's a trickle down fuckover effect based on
the minorities?
No, not the minorities. Based on the income for that area, because schools are funded from property taxes based on city, county, state, right? So if you have a lower amount of property tax, lower amount of taxes, lower amount of of income for a certain area, you're not going to get the same kind of services you're going to get at a much higher income area. So I don't think it's necessarily the system. I think it's the localization of the resources. They're not evenly distributed.
That makes somewhat fucking sense. But what about when they get tired of doing it? They've been in the job for 5, 6, 7 years, and they're using the same techniques they used when they first came in.
Yeah, like any profession.
What about them? What if they get tired about that? A teacher in Laguna Niguel is going to be teaching the kids that are growing up in that same generation learning shit. What are you going to learn when the teacher's fucking giving up on life and hating his job and hating how little he's getting paid after 6, 7 years?
Fuck, I've been there. I've been there in my job. You know, I do the same shit 5, 6, 7 years, and it's like the first year, it's like, fuck yeah, I got this shit, let's do this. Blah, blah. Second year, all right, let's go. I got these ideas. By the third year, like, okay, no one's paying attention to my ideas. Fourth year is like, maybe if someone paid attention to my ideas. Fifth year is like, fuck it, I give up. Sixth year, you're just fucking going through the motions.
Yeah, because they're getting paid the same amount every month.
And plus, with teachers too, once you get to a certain point, you're fucking tenured in, and it's impossible to get fired. There's nothing you can do to get fired once you're tenured.
Unions, because that's what we're talking about. Public schools.
Yes, teachers unions are the biggest fucking draw, like the biggest negativity on our fucking school system. In my opinion, the fucking unions are the fucking death knell.
The teachers unions, but let's talk about charter schools. Depending on a location.
Charter?
Yeah, charter. Yeah. It might be way different somewhere else, but I keep on going to that. They seem to be only getting teachers that are coming out of high school. They're excited to teach. They're excited to teach students, and they're excited to make people's life change, and they're just excited about the whole situation. They're excited that they play a role in someone's kid's life, and then they could change their whole direction of life by what they're teaching them. But 5, 6 years, 10 years, 15 years pass, and they seem to get fucking fired from these schools, from charter schools, and they're get replaced by fucking the same people that they keep on looking for young kids that get out of school.
So you think there should be like a transition, like a 5-year transition? You can only be at a certain school for 5 years. Like there's got to be a way to identify a trend, correct that trend for the future generations. Like you said, after 5, 6, 7 years, they start phasing out people. They start getting bored. They start going through the motions. There should be 5-year, 10 years. Okay, you hear 5 years, another district. 5 years, like there should be an incentive for them readjusting and reevaluating themselves.
And I'm not trying to even talk about the teachers. I'm just trying to say about the...
No, those are pretty fucked up teachers out there, man. You know that shit.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is about the education we're fucking learning. Fucking a lot of shit of that you learn you don't need in your everyday life, and that's what I'm trying to say. You spend 14 years in that, like a full-time job, and most of that shit you don't need, just useless facts you forgot. Who gives a fuck about the War of 1812? I don't give a fuck about the war. I don't even fucking know who fought it. If you remember it, there's a lot of people that don't remember it. You know what I mean? Whatever they learn, there's a lot of... The curriculum is fucked. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it is fucked.
The curriculum is a little stupid at times. And the teachers, sometimes they give up. They don't teach it in a thought-provoking way. And it's always... I just feel like kids are fucking...
They're learning skills. No one's learning skills.
Yeah, basically. And they're taught to just think inside the box. And think inside the box, don't ask questions, and everything you do, you have to ask for permission.
Like I told you previously, Gabriel, at my place of employment, we have interns that are coming out of college, like really bright kids coming like UCLA, USC, like really smart fucking kids who've quote unquote memorized all the shit they were supposed to, gone through the motions, regurgitated all this bullshit they were taught. But when they go into the real world, they go into a business environment, they have to conduct a meeting with 15, 20, 30 people in front of them, give a presentation. They are fucking literally shitting on themselves. They cannot speak in front of people. They can barely look people in the eyes. They're so fucking terrified because they don't have the skills
to live in the real world.
Yeah, they don't have these skills to make it in the real world, because college, high school, like all this shit you're taught, that's not the real world. Once you get thrown out in the real world, you're gonna get smacked in the motherfucking face, because this shit is.
And they hate the job you're doing.
No one's sitting there holding your hand. No one gives a shit about your social justice warrior bullshit. No one gives a shit about your safe spaces. When you're out there in the real world, that shit gets real. And I wish they would teach fucking kids more about public speaking, more about face-to-face communications, more about conflict resolution, more about fucking identifying a problem solving. Problem solving is the number one thing you're going to need in life. There's so many fucking problems out there that you're going to need to look at, evaluate, come up with a plan, and execute that plan. That's what we should be teaching these fucking kids, is conflict and resolution and problem solving.
Yeah, and I get all that, dude. Believe me. And I want to bring up a subject right now that might trip you out. But before I do, I just want to say the fucking curriculum made you fucking hate school, made you hate learning, made you hate education.
Maybe hate the fucking teachers.
You shouldn't hate education. Education is a right. Fucking but even the UN fucking has human rights listed somewhere in the articles that fucking education is fucking a human right. Fucking I'm all for education. I'm not saying nothing bad about education. I'm just saying there's a lot of shit in the curriculum that's not even needed in the everyday adult life. You know what I mean? You're supposed to learn how to read, write. You're supposed to learn how to fucking. You're supposed to know how to fucking do math. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that you don't need. Like fucking. Do you need to know how far the sun's falling into space and how geometry works? Do you really need to know that in your everyday life? I mean, I get that scientists need to know that. I need that kids sparked by the idea of becoming a scientist or something, get that spark from learning it in that education and that curriculum they're learning.
But I think what you're saying is primary education. I'm talking about your K through 6, your junior high and high school. It needs to more address the fundamentals, what it takes to be an adult, the fundamentals of problem solving and conflict resolution. Those specialty items, like you're saying, the science, all that shit, that can be handled at post-education college, right?
Yeah,
if you want to go into that field, go into those specific fields, because we would be much better served as an Americans, as Californians, as any fucking state out there, if we had most of our people K through 6 and junior high, high school learn the basic skills needed to spawn themselves into a real job. Like, if you give them all this bullshit, like memorize General Custer, memorize the first Thanksgiving, memorize fucking Henry Ford, that shit ain't gonna get you a fucking job when you graduate high school. That shit, because a lot of people don't go to college. A lot of people are after high school, they're looking for jobs that they're going to probably work for the rest of their life. We should be building them the skills needed to be a productive member of society. Like, going back to this whole education shit, like, I remember specifically going through high school and being in our history class, I don't know, I'm not saying I'm like fucking Joe Rogan or like some crazy motherfucker who knows everything, but I'm sitting there in fucking high school in a history class learning about the war of 1812, seriously thinking, like, in 10 years, am I going to give a shit about this? What the fuck is this bullshit? Why should I care about this shit? How is this going to put money in my pocket, feed my family, learn about the fucking war of 1812?
But a lot of people don't think like you did. And that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people just regurgitated that information just to pass the test. And after they pass the test, it seems like they're fucking idiots. There's millions of people in the world that can't even fucking spell right. You know what I mean? Simple fucking words they can't spell right. You see them in the comments. You see them everywhere. And these people you're talking about people that the government's spending so many money. Most money is spent on American kids than any other country. Why are we not geniuses? Why isn't there more geniuses walking around and fucking talking about Shakespeare's fucking theories and the way Shakespeare talked about, like talking about the world and shit? No, why isn't there more geniuses, more scientists, more billionaires? Why is billionaires 1%? Know what I mean?
Do you think it's gotten worse over time? Do you think it's always been like this? Do you think the internet age and this Kardashian effect of society has given way to this?
No, I don't even think so. Because I think it's opening people's minds. People that didn't have education get to have education through programs like not programs, but like through applications like YouTube and shit. You know what I mean? Or Wikipedia or stuff like that. They get to learn at their own pace or what they find interesting. They don't have to go to a curriculum from the state or from the government.
You know, I think you're fucking right. I think the internet has done more for the advancement of humanity, advancement of civilization and learning and developing skills than any fucking school or government could do. All this free shit. Look, every fucking time I want to learn how to cook something, every time I need to learn how to do something in the house or change something, I go on YouTube.
Yeah.
How do I fucking cook a bomb ass chicken with asparagus with some lemon? Boom, YouTube. Everything fucking is available at your fingertips, man.
It's the way that people teach it. And I'm saying school, the curriculum, we're learning so many useful facts, and we're spending times and hours of our fucking life, our childhood. We're spending our childhood in these fucking stupid curriculums that we don't even remember half of the shit. I know. The only thing that I could say that you need from fucking elementary school is reading, learning how to write, learning how to read, and math.
Interacting with kids, developing friendships, developing relationships.
That's it. Everything else, I don't remember shit. I don't remember. The only thing I remember is the good interactions I had with people. The good fucking projects. Oh, I remember fucking throwing some baking soda on that fucking volcano thing and then erupted. That's just memories. I don't remember fucking facts. And it seems like people are getting dumb. And I'm saying, does this curriculum actually work? Or should we have them in a natural place where they actually fucking exploring the world? And I'm trying to think, how would that happen when the parents are working? Is it more of a daycare? Or is it more of a learning education system? I don't know how to answer that question, but there's a lot of... Since we were talking about the right of education, I was reading that that's not actually required of you to go to school as long as your parents have a way of you having an education. So that means you could have a different curriculum that anybody else has through homeschooling or through these fucking, I don't know, you have heard of them, Sudbury schools?
Have you ever met... Okay, let me ask you a question.
Have you ever heard of Sudbury schools?
No, but I've known kids who've done homeschooling. Here I met someone who did homeschooling.
No.
The creep. Okay, I'm sorry.
Everybody says that.
If anyone listens to this, they're the creepiest motherfuckers. They're the most weird, non-adjusted people because you need that fucking day-to-day human experience with your peers. You need people that are like you, that are your age with the same wants and needs and desires and aspirations. You need that shit. We're a tribe mentality. Humans are this kind of... It's in our DNA. We need to be part of something or we don't properly adjust. Homeschool kids are fucking psychos, man.
Is school just a social place where you can meet up? I wanted to go back to that Sudbury school. So I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I guess Sudbury. It's Sudbury. Sudbury schools.
Never heard of that shit. I don't know if I can talk about, man.
It's a school system. I guess they run that shit as a fucking democracy. The kids, the staff.
Wait, where's that? Is this in California? There's gotta be some podunk.
There's some here here in California. I think there's one in Whittier.
I've literally never heard of that shit in my life.
There's one in Whittier, and they're in England. They're in Europe. There's some in America, but I'm not too sure about.
Tell me about it. I want to hear this shit. This shit sounds.
But anyways, it's a democracy-run education system. I guess the children and the staff, they get together and they vote on what they want to learn. They vote on what they want to learn, and it's kind of like a private school basically. But they just basically they vote on everything they want to learn, and they are able to sell shit. They start selling stuff like popsicles and chips and shit. And I guess they're trained to think in a free market society. So that means that there's this kid that wants to start making money and he starts selling chips and shit and everything, and they allow him to. It's not like you're doing it in public schools. Here in California, you probably get sent to the detention office and everything. And the Sudbury schools, they allow that. They allow the kid. Basically, the staff has the same amount of power as the students. You gotta look that up, dude. Sudbury schools.
Dude, okay.
So they're taught how to be entrepreneurs. Not only that, but they get to learn what they want to learn, and I feel like we have to go somewhere in between, where we're prepared for life, and I feel like somehow they're putting down the masses like they used to back in the days. Because I was looking back into history. And in early days of America, everyday schooling was just learn the Bible, learn the English primer. I don't know if you ever heard of that. That Adam something. It's like references to the Bible to make you remember the vocabulary, the alphabet and stuff like that. And then you used to wear this book around your head, around your neck, that taught you how to read the alphabet and stuff like that. That's early education of America. But the higher knowledge people, they went to other schools where they taught them all that, plus Latin, plus Greece. They needed to memorize all these facts and everything. So I'm saying maybe there is a conspiracy against people down in the minority areas, against people that are in the higher like high class society where they can learn more stuff.
Well, why do you think like the Skull and Bones, these secret societies, are the most established, long-lasting, longest-running, most wealthiest schools? You're not going to have these secret societies at fucking Cal State Fullerton or San Diego State. These are like Princeton, fucking Harvard.
And that's what I'm talking about. Harvard was one of the first colleges made here in the United States back in the 1600s. So that that in itself makes you trip out. And then just the whole education system has changed for. I just trip out on it. I trip out. I don't know. I don't have any words anymore.
Well, going back to that fucking thing you're talking about, those schools. You know what's fucking hilarious that you mentioned that? When I was in elementary school, they had like this student store, right? Like the students would go and they needed to buy extra pencils and erasers, all that bullshit, right? I would help run it. Like they volunteer for kids. I was like, I would like cashier for the student store. And then 7th grade, I was a cashier for a student store. By 8th grade, I was like, you know what? I see how much fucking money these kids have. I see how much they want to spend. So what I started doing, okay, now you mentioned the whole shit about entrepreneurship. I would have my mom take me to candy warehouses. I would literally buy boxes of this shit. Guys, look this shit up. This is probably before Gabriel's time, and probably maybe before some years' time. There's these like fucking candies called Raven's Revenge. It was like these tubes filled with fucking sugar and these wild ass fucking flavors, wild ass colors. I would get that shit, buy fucking literally warehouse boxes full of fucking candy, and then be slanging that shit in the day-to-day school. Like, hey man, I got this thing, $1 a bottle. Like, so it really taught me, based on my experiences of being part of the, quote unquote cashier at the student store from the previous couple of years, it gave me the skills needed to kind of go above and beyond. Like, all right, I see what the value is in selling stuff. I see what people want. I see what people need. I see what people are asking for. Do you have this? Do you have that? So, like you said, with the whole whatever Sudbury, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I really didn't understand that shit. But fucking that whole sense of developing this entrepreneurial spirit has really stuck with me since that day. I kind of in my spare time I kind of slang stuff on eBay, kind of a little extra money here and there, a few hundred, a few thousand on a good month. But like that whole idea of going above and beyond, and that whole face-to-face, that whole salesman thing, it really sticks with you. You really need to have that foundation built in, the availability to build that foundation of having those skills brought up, like you said. If the kids are learning how entrepreneurial spirit, selling this, selling that shit really sticks with you, man. If you get the opportunity to do that, if you learn and develop those skills, they last a lifetime. And that shit's legit. That's easily transferable to any fucking society, like not society, any company, any industry you're in. That shit translates, man. You need real life experiences and education.
But not just that, but it keeps on making your head wonder of what can I do, what can I sell? What can I fucking do? I remember myself in fucking high school not knowing what I was gonna do for the rest of my life. someone would ask me, "What do you want to do? What you want to go to school for?" and stuff like that. I don't remember. I just saying, I don't know. I guess I'll go with the wind. I guess fucking, I see where it takes me. Well, I guess where life takes me, that's where I'll end up. And most of his kids, I guess they already know how to think outside the box. Where it could, okay, I already know how to sell. I already know how to do this. I'll become an entrepreneur. I'll start businesses, or I'll start doing this, or I'll start selling services. And they seem to be better prepared for life than what we are.
Only in those situations where you're talking about, right? Only those very specific schools, though. In your average school, that ain't the case.
Not at all.
Your average fucking state-run school, your public school, is it like that?
No.
Hell fucking no.
No, and then not only that, but they're only taking you. I mean, even if you didn't make it to, let's say, a college, a state-run college like USC here in California, you're only getting that title in order to be able to get those fucking jobs that depend on those titles, or that require those titles. And then once you're in there for like a year or two, you're like fucking hating your life, wanting to fucking quit that job, and not knowing why you went to school for that degree in the first place. All I'm saying is there has to be a better way of us knowing what we're gonna do for the rest of our lives, and how the fuck to think outside the box. How the fuck? There's no reason why there should be 1% of rich people in America, when the United States is one of the governments that spend most money on education per capita, per person. That's all I'm saying.
So in closing, what you're saying,
there should be more geniuses.
Do you think it's okay? So in closing, in my opinion, I think when you agree with me, it's not money well spent. It could be spent in a better way, in a more positive way, and we should be democratically allowed to say how that money is spent. We, the people, should say how that money is spent at a local level.
Yeah, not just that, but the education system. Somehow there's something going wrong when the test scores are fucking staying the same for the past 40 years. Government spending has been going up for the past 40 years, but the test scores are the same. Shouldn't they be higher? I mean, if you're wasting more money on people, shouldn't they be higher? Shouldn't more people be geniuses? I don't have the exact numbers for that, but I'm pretty sure if you guys Google it, you'll be able to find out the facts on that.
You know, fuck you, Google it.
Just, I mean, because I don't have it on me, but I'm pretty sure you guys will be. Just fucking do some homework, find out. No, but it just gets me pissed that your childhood spent, and your childhood spent, and it feels like you're born. You're asking so many questions. Why this? Why that? To ask, why do I have to go to school? You know, it feels like that. It feels like that, and it shouldn't feel like that, because education is a good thing, I think, but just in the right context, on the right things you learn. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be learning useless facts, and that's, I guess, that's all I have to say about that.
Hey man, we definitely should not be learning useless facts, and there should be something we can do, hopefully, in the future about trying to rein this shit in and trying to fucking help a better format for our schooling system. But, you know, fucking
revolution that shit.
But hey man, fucking until next time, man. This is Same Indian Podcast. We're gonna be back again in the near future, talking about some similar shit. You know, maybe not education next time, but fucking another avenue in life. There's so much shit going on in the world, so much fucked up stuff, so much positive stuff. Hey, you know, fucking, you know me, get my big old hippie. So sometimes I want to talk about that positive vibes and the positive flow in life. We do sound like hippies, right? The fuck, yeah. Hey man, fuck it. Hey, everyone's a hippie sometimes, man. You gotta be hippie sometimes, right?
Same in the end, we got it from fucking the best hippies here in Southern California, fucking Sublime.
That's
dude.
right, son.
So yeah, check us out at sameintheend.com. Make sure you guys fucking check us everywhere: iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. We're just make sure you check us out at sameintheend.com. We got all the links there.
Yeah, man. Make sure to rate and review us. You know, spread around share it on, fucking wherever you're at, man. Share it. Let people know where we at, where you're at. Let's all get on the same plane together, guys. We love you. Until next time, same in the end. Out. I'm Joe. This is Gabriel. What's up, man?
Yeah, guys. I'm just kidding. Later, guys.
Yeah, guys.